What's going on, guys? I'm Flint Masters, and welcome to part 2 of the most iconic moments in Big Brother history. If you have not watched part 1, I suggest you do, as that covers seasons 2 through 10. For part 2, we'll obviously be covering seasons 11 through 23. And as a heads up for those of you who haven't seen part 1, my choices need to not only be iconic, but a good iconic moment as well. Hence, the moment you're probably thinking for BB11 won't be on the list. With that said, let's get this video started and segue right into Big Brother 11. BB11 gave us the worst twist in Big Brother history, the coup d'etat, basically erasing an entire week's worth of Big Brother and completely screwing over someone who was on their way to win the game. So while this moment is definitely the most iconic moment of BB11, it's downright terrible and I can't put it on the list. And to be honest, I almost want to put Chima's ejection on the list, as I think her reaction was absolutely justifiable. But since we ended off part 1 with a fight, we might as well start off part 2 with a fight, as BB11 is the best Big Brother season for fights. And to me, the best and most iconic one comes from Jeff and Russell. And seeing what we know about Jeff now, and the fact that production made him out to be the golden boy, instead of showing the disgusting things he said in the house, it makes Russell ambushing him all that much better.
Technotronics, ladies and gentlemen. New word. How long did it take you to think of that one? You tell me. What are they doing in Chi-Town?
Who you getting crazy with?
Oh, with you?
Yeah.
Real genius over here, ladies and gentlemen. Can't win a physical challenge, can't win a mental challenge. What are you here for? Slide your way through?
That's it, bro.
Technotronics.
Yeah.
At least I got brains, though.
Yeah.
At least Mom made me some brains.
You spelled shotgun, you dork.
Technotronics.
Shotgun. Get real.
What are you
want
gonna spell?
from me? I'm not a great speller.
I'm not a good
You're a-
speller. I'm not
No.
good at anything physical. Damn, you're not good at anything in this place. Technotronics. Maybe I'll go to, 4th grade English and take that class over again. Maybe I'll do
you
that.
should.
Hey, Jeff, why'd you get out? Oh, I spelled Technotronics wrong. Oh, is that a word? Yeah, I made a plural.
Dude, you
Damn,
spelled
spell.
shotgun. Are you serious
And
right
I
now?
spelled it correctly. Who spelled it correctly? Who spelled it correctly?
You spelled
That's
shotgun.
Right. That's right. And I spelled it correctly.
Dude,
Spelled the
who
word
cares if I
correctly.
can't spell? I can't spell. Big deal.
You can't spell?
No,
you
I
can't spell.
can't.
You can't do anything physical. You can't do.
Yeah.
What can you do in here?
I can
What
knock
can
you out. I'll tell you that with all your training.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's
Hey,
for
any
sure.
day of the week.
No problem,
Any
brother.
day.
No
I will
problem.
take you any day.
No problem, dog. This ain't WWF. I'll knock you out.
You isolate yourself, Jeff. You don't even hang out with us. You don't even try to talk game with us. I feel the
I
same
didn't know
way.
that they were putting up her. Whose idea was it to put up her? Because it wasn't mine.
If we wanted this whole thing to be a team decision, I'm not going to sit here and lie.
Yeah, but you guys made it without me, so why wouldn't you come seek me out?
We tried to talk to you, and you just didn't want to do it. So we're like, you know what? Obviously, not only does he not want the idea, but he's completely separate.
I didn't do a thing, and this guy comes at me.
Team, because if we could have decided who went up, your ass would have
You're
gone
right,
up, and
and
you
guess
would have been
what?
going home.
Change is week 2,
Okay? And
'cause
you would
one
have
of
been
you are
going
going
home.
home.
That's for damn sure. We'll get that straight now. Now you're attacking me. Go with your team.
Just shut your mouth
Okay.
now, because I don't talk to you, so don't make up stories.
I'm
You
not
think
making
I
up
did.
stories. I'm not making up stories, Jeff. It's
All right,
a damn.
don't
I
talk
have
to
no
me.
reason to make up stories.
Everybody
I tell everybody straight to their face. That's one thing you know. I'll tell you straight out. I don't care who you are.
Everyone on my team off. Why don't you spell that for your work?
In BB12, we were introduced to one of the biggest legends in Big Brother history, Rachel Riley. And while it wasn't until next season where Rachel really cemented her place in Big Brother history, she still obviously made quite the impact during her stay in the BB12 house. In fact, she was so much of a character that the producers brought her back from the jury house literally just to torment the current house guest. And while there are pretty decent moments from BB12, this is definitely a character-driven season, so it's only fitting to go with Reagan and Rachel's iconic fight to represent this season.
Rachel, everything about you is a lie.
Oh,
Your
really?
boobs are a lie, your face is a lie. The only thing honest about you is the pimples on your chin. You're a wicked witch. Why don't you get on your broom and fly back inside?
Oh, you're so funny. Why don't you insult me a little more?
What is going on?
Get out of my face. If you don't like me and I don't like you, go someplace where somebody in this house actually likes you.
Oh, wait, but you
By
said nobody
yourself.
likes me.
Yeah,
Because I'm a nasty, disgusting, vile red parrot.
absolutely.
What do you think you are, Reagan?
I think I'm a nice person with friends in this house.
Who is your friend? Princess Brittany is your friend?
Yep.
Nobody in this house is your real friend, Reagan. Nobody likes you in real life.
Really?
This is a game. If this is your gameplay, you really suck at it.
Rachel, you were out of the house last week. The last person I'm
And
going to
I'm
take lessons
back.
from is you for 24 hours. You're here for a limited time because your boyfriend did a Pandora's box and unleashed something horrible in the house. Wake up. Your days of bullying me are over. You're a conniving, evil little witch, and you got exactly what was coming to you. Talking to you is like talking to the most vile devil child in the world, and I'm done with it, baby, because I'm done with you, because your game in this house is over.
BB13 gave us some of the most underrated players in the history of the show, such as Kalia, Portia, and Shelly. And while they went toe-to-toe with the veteran players, the rest of the newbie cast were all pretty bad players. In fact, almost the rest of the newbie cast called themselves the Regulators, in hopes of being the next brigade, and they all proceeded to be evicted in the pre-jury. However, while Keith, Cassie, and Dominic were evicted in a normal way, Lawan had quite the interesting reason for being evicted.
I don't know, I think you have a better chance if you was to put me up.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? I come back and be like, okay, oh well, let's play the game.
Opposed to
But see-
having somebody be really pissed.
Right,
Coming back with a vengeance.
right.
I'm okay with being evicted because I am thinking I might come back with some special powers. And guess what? We gonna sail right to the top. How you like me now?
By a vote of 6-0, Lawan, you are evicted from the Big Brother house. Time is up, and with 14 correct, Brendan, you have won the battle. You are now back in the game. Lawan, I'm sorry, your game is over.
In BB14, we got what I think is the most iconic moment in the history of the show. Not even gonna waste your time here, I'm just gonna say 2 words: Dan's funeral.
Although some people may look at 24 hours of solitary confinement as a punishment, to me it's a blessing in disguise. So when I'm in solitary confinement, the only thing I'm gonna be doing is thinking how to get myself out of this mess and who I can stab along the way. How am I gonna spin my way out of this? Got 24 hours to think about it. Let's find a way out. Through my own fault, I was wrong. We don't need to get into it now, but in this game, you'll never earn my trust back. You know what you did. And in this game, you're dead to me. So don't come to me and ask about it because it's over. While I was trapped in solitary confinement, I came up with a master plan to try and save myself. Step 1, invite all the house guests to Dan's funeral. Step 2, go talk to Frank and blow up the Quack Pack. This was my pitch to you. Brittany's a more dangerous player. She's covered everywhere. Covered by you. Joe's not gonna put her up. Ian's not gonna put her up. Shane's not gonna put her up. Who is gonna put Brittany up? For as tight as I feel with Ian, there's not a doubt in my mind he's tighter with Brittany. No one would ever think we'd be working together.
Me, Dan.
No, I swear to God.
Yeah.
But this is actually pretty good. Everyone in the house is pissed at me. Jen's probably irate with me that I did that to Danielle.
But if I went to Jen and said, Jen, look, I know you and Danielle are tight. What do you think about me, you, Dan, and Danielle? I know this might sound a little crazy, but I want you to use the veto on Dan. I think she might do it.
I have decided to use the power of veto on Dan. Frank, since I have decided to veto one of your nominations, you have to name a replacement.
Ian, you voted Mike out last week, and then you put me and my other closest ally up on the block, and she went home. You won the veto, so I can't put you up. I gotta do the next best thing and put your closest ally up on the block. You made it apparent who that is. So to quote a not-so-wise young man, Brittany, pop a squat.
Despite BB15 being a season that CBS has wanted fans to forget about over time due to its ugliness, what you can't deny about Big Brother 15 is that the gameplay is top notch. Between the two massive blindsides to start the season, both double evictions, and Andy playing one of the most dominant under the radar games ever, the players did come to play this season, even if some of them were unfortunately nasty about it. But to me, the most iconic moment from this season when it comes to the gameplay is Judd's blindside in the first double eviction. In what is arguably the greatest double eviction blindside ever, not only was Judd blindsided, but the live feeders were blindsided as well, as this was literally a last minute plan. It's also raw as well, as Judd is pleading for his big brother life the entire time he's in the chair. Players are crying, but at the same time, understand that this is the right move. No matter what you think of BB15, this moment is easily up there as one of the greatest blindsides of all time.
Or you may leave your nominations in place. So Aaron, please stand and give us your decision.
Jesse, I'm taking you off the block. Can I continue, Julie?
Yes, you may.
And I have to put this person up because they have been playing me and thinking that I would not realize that this was happening, Judd. Because everybody in this house, minus 2 people, has told me that this is what they want, and I will go home if I don't do this. I'm sorry.
By a unanimous vote, Judd, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Bye, y'all. Good luck. Hey, Julie, can I get a hug?
This was the biggest game ever.
Come here, buddy.
I'm so happy you're still here.
Season 16. I mean, pretty easy choice here, right? The most iconic moment from BB16 is the Battle of the Block being introduced, a game-changing twist that all fans love and was totally fair, yeah, just kidding. To be honest though, the Battle of the Block could have made a run for BB16, as there was really nothing happening this season, as Derek basically broke modern Big Brother with his creation of big alliances with strong players at the core of the big alliance to dominate the game, making for very boring gameplay. But at the final 3, Cody was put in the classic final 3 dilemma when he won the final HOH. Take his closest ally and friend, or take a goat. I mean, it's $500,000. This should be an easy decision, right?
This could be a $500,000 decision. You ready to make it?
Absolutely.
Then please stand and cast your vote to evict.
It's my ride or die guy. Started with him on day 2. Got to make it to the final 2. I'm so sorry, Victoria. You know I love you, but I have to evict you.
It's official. Victoria, you are the last person to be evicted from the Big Brother house. Frankie's vote goes to... Congratulations, Derek. You are the winner of Big Brother. Gentlemen, come on out.
There are 2 very big time moments from BB17, and it is easily my toughest decision. But since I just talked about Cody evicting Victoria, I won't be choosing Steve evicting Vanessa as the most iconic moment of Big Brother 17, despite it being such an epic moment. For me, the honor this season goes to Austin's blindside at the final 5. Many people called this the most ruthless blindside ever because of Vanessa's gameplay. Vanessa saved Austin from being a pre-jury boot and had worked with him all game, and the two had the majority alliance in the house with Liz and looked to be well on their way to the final 3. But despite Vanessa having a good path to the end, she wanted the best path possible and knew that going to the final 3 with Austin and Liz would mean she would have to win the final HOH. And in general, keeping an obvious showmance in the house this late in the game was super risky. So she got Johnny Mac on board to blindside Austin, sparing the eventual winner Steve, and leaving Austin literally stunned in disbelief.
House guests, the votes are in, and we have a tie. 1 vote to evict Steve, 1 vote to evict Austin. Vanessa, as current HOH, you must decide which of these 2 will leave the Big Brother house. When Vanessa casts her vote, the evicted house guest will have just a few moments to say goodbye and walk out the front door. Vanessa, please stand, face the 2 nominees, and cast your vote to evict.
You guys, this is brutal for me. I'm really sorry, but I came here to play a game, and it's a game decision. I'm sorry. Austin, I vote to evict you.
It's official. Austin,
I'm sorry, Ben.
You are evicted.
I'm sorry. I gotta do
from the Big Brother house.
I'm sorry, man. I love you to death outside of this house. I'm sorry, but you are an unbelievable strategist, and you're in a showmance, and I hope you
can't win the
understand.
game. You can't win.
I'm
You're
so
not going to
sorry.
win the jury votes.
I know that, and that's okay.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Win the
Johnny
game.
Mac had 1 veto, though.
Win the game.
I'm sorry, man.
Good luck, Austin.
I think one reason why Big Brother 18 is viewed as an average to below average season is due to the fact that while it's good, there's not a big wow moment this season. It's kind of like the Big Brother version of Survivor Vanuatu. I think the big thing people like to talk about when it comes to BB18 is the downfall of Paulie. However, that's not really much of a moment as it is an entire summer's worth of storytelling. So let's instead go with a moment that confirmed Paulie's elimination, and that is Victor coming back into the game not once, but twice.
Congratulations, Victor. You have won the Battle Back competition and will re-enter the game.
Yes, 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 that's mine. I won. I earned my way back into the house. Man, I'm a beast. Back in the house!
There's my boy.
Record! 2 comebacks!
Yes! Oh, who has ever come back twice after being evicted? Nobody but this guy. Making history. Your boy is unevictable.
Not only did Victor coming back twice extremely help out Paul's game, but in general, it made the endgame of BB18 super exciting. And speaking of Survivor comparisons, Victor became the Ozzy of Big Brother, as he proved to be one of, if not the greatest challenge beast ever, but his strategy lacked badly, leading him to be the first and only Big Brother player to be voted out 3 times in 1 season.
By a vote of 2-0, Victor, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
The 3rd time's a charm. 3rd time, baby. Who's just a beast in this game?
Big Brother 19, oh boy, we really have to relive this again, eh? No matter what you think of Paul, or how little you think of the cast, the fact that Paul was able to get these players to do some of the things they did was mind-boggling. Like getting everyone to throw a running competition to a girl with 1 leg, getting one of his rivals to send home a potential ally in her HOH week, and creating alliances and final 2s with basically everyone in the house, having Kim Spradlin level of options come the endgame. And that's exactly what makes Josh beating Paul in the final 2 all that much more amazing. Sure, Josh wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but then again, who wasn't BB19? And pretty much everyone had turned against Paul by the time BB19 ended, as fans were fed up with his bullying and scare tactics, and his general easy road to $500,000. And seeing him once again lose in a 5-4 vote to a guy who was more known for pots and pans than anything strategically, with Cody being the deciding vote as the cherry on top, it's all just so amazing, and a fun end to one of the worst Big Brother seasons ever.
Elena has cast her vote for Josh to be the winner of Big Brother. We have 4 votes for Paul, 4 votes for Josh. Cody is the last vote. Congratulations, Josh. You are the winner of Big Brother. Paul and Josh. Come on out, guys.
Season 20 now, a breath of fresh air following the horror show that was BB19. So many great blindsides this season, and the birth of one of the most beloved house guests to ever play, and Tyler Crispin. But despite the great gameplay, the standout moment from the season gives Marcellus a run for his money in stupidity, and that is Kaitlyn completely failing at a basic puzzle. After being given a second chance due to Sam's power, all that stood between Kaitlyn and a chance to come right back into the house was a simple puzzle of herself. Should be no problem, right?
Minutes remaining. Ninety seconds remaining. One minute remaining.
No.
30 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry, Kaitlyn. You have lost the bonus life. Unfortunately, your time in the Big Brother house is officially over. Please head downstairs, say goodbye to your housemates, and make your way out the front door.
Fun fact, the producers were so convinced that Kaitlyn would win her way back into the game that they didn't even have an exit chair ready for her. Simply one of the biggest meltdowns in reality TV history. Big Brother 21 is another season similar to BB15, as BB21 was very nasty, although not quite as bad as BB15. However, the trade-off being that BB21's gameplay wasn't nearly as good as BB15's gameplay, especially in the pre-jury phase, with it often being considered the worst pre-jury ever. But things really picked up basically the second the jury phase started, and it reached a climax at the final 5. In one of the most dramatic day of feeds ever, Nicole and Cliff held all the power, and had to choose between breaking up a showmance or taking out a massive jury threat. And with this being a pivotal moment in the game for all 5 players, emotions were at an all-time high.
Yeah, that power y'all were as targets, and especially you. Yeah, and that could be.
But by the grace of God, we are here, and that's what's so important is looking forward.
By the grace of God, Nicole.
Yes, and
by
looking
the grace
forward.
Of Holly and Mickey.
Yeah, and you guys would have been in the double if I didn't pay you back.
That's fine. If you want to burn bridges and go back on deals and handshakes and words, and that's fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I was naive. We've been burned before by one alliance, and we trusted y'all wholeheartedly, and we shouldn't have because we're now getting burned for a second time. This is what happens when we put the faith in the wrong people. You promised us that there was no funny business.
I meant that when I said it. When you said
When you said it. So how does that change in 3 days? What do you mean when you said it?
We had decided that we were going to send Tommy out. We were like, yep, we're honoring our word. It is what it is. And this whole scenario just doesn't make sense.
This is last
to me.
night.
Between last night and this morning, the whole
How does it not
conversation
make
didn't
sense?
make sense.
You made up a lie about me? Yes.
I didn't make. Okay.
That is
Y'all-
a bold-faced lie.
Mickey,
Everything that happened
here's
in that
the deal.
hangout room is a lie.
I don't know if you're telling the truth
I
or
don't
he's
know.
telling the truth. I don't know.
Should I have just not told y'all? Because I was trying to make you all privy to the fact that he's playing both sides.
I'm not playing both
Why?
sides.
This is ridiculous. Look at the facts and the people that have had your back. We've had your back. The fact that y'all are considering taking someone who has been in y'all's corner this whole time unwaveringly, taking her out of the game over Tommy, who has voiced on numerous occasions that y'all are threats and that you are a bigger threat and that you could win this game, is blowing my mind. For the smart, intelligent gamers that y'all are, that love this game, this doesn't make sense. We've never considered going against y'all, Cliff. The only person that has tossed your name around as an option was when you were on the block against Jess and Tommy was weighing out options.
As were you.
You are the only one out of us three that has ever mentioned his name as a possible option.
Nope.
Don't shake your head, Tommy.
Nope, not true.
Yes, true.
Not true. When we were in the
I'm about
HOH
to
room,
lose my...
I would have never gone up there and hard pitched Cliff.
Dude,
I was
you
doing
did.
both. I was doing both. So yes, there's truth to that.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
going up there saying Cliff is a bigger target, but that's because you
and
were
he's the only
apparently
one out of us
working
three
with-
that have ever said that. We have been in y'all's corner 1,000%, and it has never wavered. And I have heard Tommy mention your name as a possible option on numerous occasions, but there's no reason why you should turn your backs on the two people that have been there for you for the past 5 weeks.
Who's manipulating you? Who's just trying to get you to do what they want you to do? It makes your brain want to explode.
We said if we die by this sword, we die by this sword, but at least I can go out against people that earned it and people I respect. Our words mean something, and we expected y'all's to mean the same, and we have stood by y'all. And we have been loyal to y'all to a fault. Her and I, both. I don't know how else to say this. We have never gone against y'all.
By a vote of 2-0, Tommy, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
I love you.
Despite Season 22 being an all-star season, we got probably the most predictable and boring gameplay ever, as the committee steamrolled the game. However, despite the boring season, it did end with a bang, as Cody once again won the final HOH and had a chance to make up for his $500,000 mistake he had made 6 years prior. And even though Cody wins no matter who he takes to the end, you could still tell this moment meant a lot to Cody, as he desperately did not want to make the same mistake once again. And even though he was friends with Nicole outside the game, he felt she was the bigger threat to beat him, and had to tell her that straight to her face.
This, as you know, Cody, is indeed a $500,000 decision.
It's so hard. I mean, I feel like I played this game from the second we walked in here with the both of you. I had that same thing with him. And so this is horrible, like, to do this to one of you guys, but Nicole, I'm so sorry.
It's official, Nicole. You are the last person evicted from the Big Brother house.
You guys both played one hell of a game.
And finally, we close out with the latest season, Big Brother 23. No matter what you think of the cookout, and trust me, people will always have something to say about the cookout, they truly did accomplish their mission to ensure the first ever black winner in BBUS history in absolute dominant fashion. And after the double eviction, they realized they accomplished their mission and celebrated with each other for not only what they did for themselves, but what they did for the black community.
The best alliance to ever do it. Yes.
Day one.
Day one.
65.
Day one.
All of us made it to the end.
Come on.
Every person.
Cook out on three.
1, 2, 3. Cook out!
Thank you guys for watching this video, and again, don't forget to check out part 1 if you haven't already. If you like this video and want more Big Brother content on this channel, then hit that like and subscribe button. Also, leave a comment down below if you would have chosen anything different for any of my picks throughout the seasons. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.